Today, I want to talk a bit about depression. As someone who's battled with depression for, I would say, the majority of my adult life, I thought I'd spend the next couple of minutes just talking about my experiences, hoping that someone out there relates. Now, it's a word that has a lot of stigma attached to it. I just want to talk a little bit about understanding what depression may look like. It can be very different for people out there. And for me, I don't think it took the traditional look. When I went to work, I didn't look unkempt. I was always well groomed. But inside, there was this kind of like this hopelessness, this feeling of being detached from my reality, not really wanting to engage. I'd lost meaning in some of the things that I used to enjoy. Nothing really made me happy. Generally, I just was disconnected. Wiping down the surface felt like you asked me to climb a mountain. Dishes would pile up in the sink. But I'd always maintain this outward perception that I had everything together. And for me, I didn't really understand what that was. I just felt like I couldn't really cope with the demands of life. I isolated myself heavily. I didn't really speak to my friends, engage with family. I just became somewhat of a recluse. You would have never guessed it. But while I was at home, there were times where I'd just sit on the bed for hours on end, sometimes doom scrolling, telling myself I'll get up in the next 5 minutes. Depression can be debilitating and it looks different for everybody. I thought I was broken. I couldn't understand why I felt the feelings that I felt, and I just had no motivation to do anything. Now, with depression, everyone's reasons for becoming depressed are going to be unique to them. You might be stressed beyond your capacity to cope. You might be going through a breakup, psychological, physiological going on. I just want to say, if this is you and you recognize any of the things that I'm talking about, speak to someone, go to your GP. Don't isolate yourself and just learn to recognize the signs. Try and pay attention to that. Don't try to convince yourself that you're just being silly. There's a lot of us out there that experience this, and unfortunately, because of our circumstances, our situation, a lot of us mask it. Some of us don't have those real ones that we can talk to, and some of us just don't know where to get advice from. Try to remember you're not alone. If you need to contact your GP, there's talking therapies relative to your local area, volunteer and charity organizations you can also speak to. Just try to make sure that you get the necessary help. And too often we struggle in silence. Maybe check in with those real ones. And just remember, you're worth the support, you're worth the time, you're worth the effort. So just remember to check in with people. Yeah.